Okay, yeah.
Okay. So hi guys, I appreciate you being on the call today. A couple of the things I just wanted to talk about because I wanted to address a couple of the kind of issues and concerns that have also come up, and one of them, and I think I've also mentioned it too. We're in a little bit of a chicken and an egg kind of situation as well. Where not only are we bringing on new companies, um, or companies that want to participate in our program, in the Sherlock Local program, and it is free for them. So there's really no risk. It's free for them to be able to sign up. They pay 15% based on the sales, as you know. We have a video that we put out for you guys that you can utilize, for businesses to be able to make it easy. Because the reality is, I believe, and again, we're just refining that video, so we'll have a second draft of it here coming out soon. But I really believe that video in and of itself, if you've got just to send it out to a business owner, have them look at the video, it's pretty easy to be able to onboard customers or onboard businesses. The second part really is going to be, continuing to build the audience for those businesses. And part of that a little bit is thinking out of the box. I can tell we've got a lot of background noise there. So can we mute it out a little bit? Sounds like we got people banging around stuff over there. Okay, great. So part of basically what we're doing with regards to building the customer base, and I'll just give you a couple different examples. Lioness is a network marketing company that also has a small business program. As a small business, it's $1,900 to sign up for that Lioness program, and what they do is they actually put a device on the countertop of that business. They create cards, little discount cards for their customers, and then the customers basically, when they come in, they can get those discount cards and use those for discounts. So they actually use the small business, as a way to be able to go out and build the clientele or build customers as well. Using the existing customer base for the businesses. We have the ability to be able to do that too. The great thing is, for the business can brand if they want and have their brand that sits on the app, basically. So they've got top of mind awareness with their brand, their company. They can do different notifications basically to those people. And at the same time, the other thing they can do is they then leverage wherever their customers go to potentially other businesses in that area and have the ability to be able to make usage income as well. So it's an additional revenue stream for them. So that's something basically that I think, from a distribution standpoint, to be able to get the apps out, just start to think about that a little bit. And then I'll just give you an example of another distribution thing. I've got a meeting today at 1 o'clock actually with a company out here in the United States and the name of that company is Town Hall. And what they do is that when new people move into a neighborhood, they give them a welcome kit. And that welcome kit actually includes some discounts from local businesses that they then call their sponsors. And so what they do is they actually sell the local business the ability to be able to be part of this welcome kit going out to these new neighbors. And so the reason that they're interested in talking with us is, first and foremost, these welcome kits, they're not digital, they're just coupons in that. They want a way to be able to distribute their coupons and discounts digitally. They also know that for their sponsors, if they also give their sponsors an opportunity to participate on our app, on our Sherlock Local app, that's a value add for their sponsors as well. So it enables them to be able to better sell their sponsor package. And at the same time, for Town Hall, they see it as a way to be able to brand their brand basically out there with their customers as well, so that they can stay in front of their customers. So they like the branding and they like the additional revenue stream. The ability to be able to then distribute our apps to their customer base, and be able to create an additional revenue stream other than their current revenues, which are basically just selling the sponsor packages, and that was something that also was exciting to them. So we've had a couple different calls. We're doing a demo for them today. they do 50,000 new homes every month. They've got 12 locations in the United States. So those are also areas to start to think about, how you got to think out of the box a little bit. You got to think about the distribution opportunities. We've got people now, and just to let you know, in different parts of the world that are looking at the college campuses, looking at distributing the apps basically through the students at the college campuses, and looking at what are the businesses around the college campuses that these students then frequent as well, and getting them on board with regards to the businesses, and then having basically, again, the students be able to distribute the app and viral out the app through their friends and so forth. So you got to, again, this is part of, thinking out of the box. We are new. We just basically went from a private beta into a public beta. We spent roughly 45 days in private beta. You've seen some improvements along the way based on your feedback. We're very grateful for that. But again, part of this is, a little bit of a chicken and an egg kind of thing. So think out of the box with regards to distribution. Give us some different ideas and so forth. We'll continue to share the ideas that are working in different parts of the world as well. And together, we'll be able to make sure that we share those ideas and then implement them and execute them around the world too. So I think the other thing is, Jansen made a good point. We are trying to build a culture within this company where we're all helping each other too. If you've got an issue or a problem or something, just think about a solution first, share that with us. We'll be happy to be able to look at it and again, consider, your different ideas and so forth as we look to be able to build this. The other thing Jansen mentioned too that I just wanted to reiterate, because at the convention I shared with everybody, some of the journeys basically of these companies that you've all known and the journey they took to be able to get to be successful companies. And then I shared, and I highlighted companies like FedEx and Apple, which is the most valuable company in the world, guys. In 1986, literally 20 years ago, their stock was trading at 28 cents a share. Launched at $22, went to 28 cents a share. Basically, Microsoft almost bought them to be able to bail them out, and then they went on to become, as we know, the iconic company they are today. I shared the stuff about FedEx and Apple and Tesla, and also a little bit about Facebook as well. But every company basically has had, their journey and so forth. You guys are pioneers, with this. So think out of the box a little bit with regards to the distribution. I think putting the companies on, like I said, is going to be a no-brainer. And I'm incredibly excited about Sherlock Local. And we also have the ability, besides what we're doing in distribution, we also have the ability with different representatives from, your part basically in the UK, also distributing the app too. So we've got some app distribution basically that we've had prior. We're going to start to re-engage some of those customers as well with the new app that we had to be able to drive traffic. So these are all part of the strategies that we're working on. Jansen's got some additional marketing ideas too that we're going to be implementing here to be able to do app distribution. So open to your feedback, but understand that this is basically we're a long-term company here. We're laying a foundation. You guys are pioneers. It would have been nice to be in a situation. For example, I shared the story about Groupon. Groupon started out as a company called The Point for about a year and a half, and they then basically did a pivot and went to Groupon. Imagine if you were one of those first people. I know they would have paid the pain a little bit with regards to The Point, but if they stuck to it and so forth and were with Groupon, they, I'm sure, have clients that they've had now for 5 or 6 years. And as people continue to go to those businesses and patronize those businesses, they continue to get the residual income from those clients also that they've brought on. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share, Jansen. You're doing a great job, and back to you.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks a lot for that. Yeah, fantastic. And this is actually the way I feel about it. We are pioneers, and we are right in front of something massive with this. So so I'm going to quickly get into it because we haven't got much longer, because I think the call's capped it basically at 45 minutes. So the first marketing campaign. Okay, so we're looking to run this from kind of starting from today. We're going to run it for about a month period. Okay, there's going to be 3 phases to this campaign. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first phase, which is going to be territory planning. This is in module 3 of the modules that you went over. I'm just going to go over this briefly with you again, just to reiterate it. So basically, the way that this typically works, the way that kind of I was discussed with Mario, this is how he's kind of planned out his structure, and kind of other companies kind of do a similar thing, B2B companies. So they designate each area. Okay, so each area will have 60 to 90,000 people in, with an average of 2,000 businesses. That's kind of like a typical figure. Obviously, it will vary depending on density of area and things like that. Okay, but each area will get one Sherlock local executive. Okay, with an overall objective, our overall objective, okay, over time of that whole area is to capture 10%. Okay, so 10% of that whole area we're looking to capture, okay, on the time that you are operating it. But within the first year, okay, we're looking to get executives to try to capture 2% of that market, okay, and that would equate to 40 businesses per area. Okay, so for more information on that, go back to module 3 and read into that. Okay, these guidelines, okay, are going to be adjusted going forward, so it may change. There may be tweaks added. We may exceed those figures. As I said, we're still looking to see how the operation grows in certain areas. The second part of this territory planning is looking at the sales potential in each territory. Okay, so the way that you do that, okay, is there's 3 ways. It's sales potential, okay, equals number of possible accounts equals buying power. Okay, so what buying power is, okay, is a currency figure based on such factors as average income levels in that area, number of businesses in the territory, average sales of those businesses, and population demographics. That is highlighted as well in module 4. Okay, so go into that to get more information on that. But that's how you can work out kind of the buying power of your area, okay, and what businesses are going to give you the best kind of returns to be looking at in that sense. So, I mean, like an example, London, certain areas in London or Manchester, for example, are going to have a stronger buying power than a small town in the outskirts of Scotland, for example. So it's just about different areas are going to have different density in terms of their buying power. All right, so I want you to make sure you write this down now. So if you start with your postcode, so I want everybody to start with their postcode that they're initially in right now. So their postcode where they are located. Okay, this website's really powerful. So if you write this down, so it's www.postcodearea.co.uk. I will send this form as well in an email to you lot after the call. Okay, but this is basically going to give you incredibly accurate demographics of the community and the infrastructure. It breaks down kind of what the population is in your postcode. Okay, it will tell you how many people are there. It will say the next postcode to you as well, how many people are there. So try to see kind of how many people you've got in your postcode. It will say about houses, businesses as well, and local infrastructure, which is cool, really interesting. So it's a really powerful website to use. And if you're nowhere near kind of the 60 to 90,000 population, then go into the next postcode. Okay, so set that into your plan of action, and please forward me your starting postcodes once you've worked this out. Okay, so the next step after that, once you've worked out your postcodes that you're going to be working, you need to divide the territories into 5 parts. Okay, make the center of the operation your home, okay, and then divide it up into north, east, south, and west. Okay, north, east, south, and west. Once you've worked out that, you need to set up your plan of attack. So the plan of attack I'm going to break down basically into 4 points. Okay, these are 4 points, which I've broken it down into. So schedule your week. Scheduling yourself in is so important. Obviously, people are full-time. There's still people working full-time with this. So some people are going to have less time than others. but make sure that you schedule your week down, break it down into weeks, into days, and then into hours, where you can allocate that time specifically for short local activities. All right, planning your week will help you so much, and it will be a case of you utilizing and really respecting the time you have on this, and really going to work when you've set those out in your diary. Work out what the most popular like local independent merchant places are. So I'm kind of what qualify, like low hanging fruit. I've mentioned this before. Kind of ones with high levels of footfall, ones that maybe use a coupon program already. And yeah, I mean, just the ones that are going to be, look at your area and think, right, in this area, what's the most popular places that I would like to go, or I know people go to, best food restaurants, best entertainment spaces, and just really have a look at that and understand that, right, I want to partner with those people, and how much footfall do they get through the door? Is it repeat business? Are they a popular place to be? What that's going to do is, if we kind of get these independent chains on what are popular, it creates more awareness of us. And when they partner with us, it adds credibility to our brand to start with. But over time, as our brand expands, people will look at these merchant places and they will see the Sherlock Local sticker and they will say, right, that's a good merchant, that's a good place because it's associated with Sherlock. So start with, you must understand that it starts in that way, and people will refer back to it as being, oh, that's a good place to go because it's part of Sherlock. All right. Sorry, my screen just dropped out then. Look to partner with as large a variety of business as possible. So I've given you the list now, basically what we want to go with. The reason I've done that is for the good of the whole business to start with. I mean, those places are going to be the highest revenue turning businesses that are out there, really, the ones I put in. So all the other things, they will come as our platform develops, and as we add in categories. I've got a call with Michael and Thomas later on. I'm going to discuss some of that with them. We can start to look at other sides of things, but for now, just focus on the categories I've provided. It will be a benefit to us in terms of awareness, in terms of footfall through the door, and allow us to grow our customer base as well by using those kind of merchants and places. So yeah, look for variety. So try to get as many different ones from those categories as possible, to widen your basic exposure and variety on the application itself, in the deal section. So the deals with pubs, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, hair and beauty and spas, activities, entertainment, things to do, automotive, piercings, tattoos, health and fitness, and medical. So those are the ones for the moment. And this is really important, because we're in public beta phase. We really need to manage the merchants' expectations and what they're going to receive from the service. Just explain to them, be honest with them, say, look, this is a new startup. Like, this is just a new mobile startup. We're looking to partner with local infrastructure, local businesses in the infrastructure of our cities, providing them a long-term marketing solution to help them push to mobile space and get involved in the mobile space. We're just looking for kind of your cooperation to get this started, get this going. And yeah, we'd love to help you help your business in the long run. So you've just got to be honest and say, look, it's not that it's not going to be an influx of custom through this service right now, but over the next few months coming, and we plan to expand our user base and move forward from there. It's just be honest. You can be honest with these people. You don't need to go in there trying to say, look, you're going to get 100 people through your door from our service to start with. It's just, you need to be honest and open. That's the best thing to be with this. And local businesses, they're entrepreneurs. They understand how tough it is to start businesses, and a lot of them will help you. They will work with us because they're interested in it, and they haven't got the financial backing to start their own mobile e-commerce platform. It would cost 5 figures minimum, 10, 15, 20,000 to start up their own app. So, I mean, what we're offering is an unbelievable deal. So, second phase operation is, obviously, this is huge. App distribution, absolutely massive. Okay, this is probably more important than the merchants is, getting the businesses on. I mean, for me, we're getting business on easily. It's not really going to be much of a challenge, but getting the traffic to them is the challenge. So app distribution, one, okay, so I've broken it down into 4 sections again. One, merchant place, work with the business to leverage awareness, okay, so that's i.e. app flyers in the merchant place, window stickers, social media pages, okay, sharing, cross collaborating to share their page of our page, comment on their posts, interact with them, share their stuff, ask them to endorse us and share the app with their customers as well. So I mean that's really powerful, and like there is an upsell to this which I will go into in probably a few weeks time. The upsell, I'm just finalising that with Michael. We haven't introduced it to start with, but it's called Local Plus. So they can basically buy their own marketing platform. They can buy into it, push their own apps out. We'll discuss that at a later stage. So I've looked at kind of old network marketing companies and kind of their strategies when they start building businesses and their retail side, like Supreme Easy, Avon, kind of those companies, and they do door to door. I mean, a lot of people don't want to be doing the graph with this, but door to door is effective, and it's one of the oldest methods used in network marketing, and it does work. It allows you to build a customer base in your local area. So with us, all we're going to do is just drop leaflets through the doors. I've got Ed to basically create a cheaper flyer, which is similar to one we've got, but it will just be one-sided, and you'll be able to buy them in different levels of bulk for this operation. Okay, so the way that I want this to work is once you sign in a business, and this is where it comes back to understanding if you're in an operation on your own, if you're starting out on your own, obviously you're looking at this, you're thinking, wow, this is going to be a lot of work. But you need to understand when you start to expand your team, the leverage and load will drop off and you won't be doing as much work on your own. So it's going to be tough to start with, but once you start to bring your team in and leverage off that, it won't be as difficult. So start with the same strategy as you start with planning your area. When you sign a business, okay, put that business as the center of the operation, and then go north, east, south, west, and try to flyer 250 to 500 houses in that area. Okay, set this into your schedule. That flyer and door-to-door dropping is going to be part of the equation. Unfortunately, some of you aren't gonna think, oh, I got to go and do some door drops. But this is work, guys. This is not going to be easy. But you must understand that when you get this customer base and you get that app usage up, trust me, you will reap the rewards for the work we're putting in right now. So just understand that it's going to work that way with that. Michael mentioned it, students. Now, if you've got a university in your area, then you need to be looking at that as a serious way of app distribution. Facebook started in universities. It went viral. They opened it to the public. It exploded for universities. The word of mouth in universities is huge, absolutely massive. Okay, if you can get a few people on the app, and especially if you can endorse a few businesses around that area where that university is, and they know that if they can go out of university, go to that business and get a cheaper deal, they will be buzzing for that. They will love it. Students love saving money and getting deals. And if you can get into the student network, flyering outside, stood outside flyering as they come out for their lunch breaks. Going in, there's ways to try and arrange meetings. Maybe they do like a community. Some of them have communities inside where they allow people to present ideas, and some of them have entrepreneurial things. But like Mike said, be creative. Try to get in, tap into that network. Try and find ways into that. That's a massive network for us. Students are huge. Firing outside is an effective way, but if you get in, you can run a meeting, you can share the app in there, or just even get a few posters up in there maybe on some of the clip things, have little clip on boards. That's really powerful as well. And the fourth thing is local events, okay, local newspapers and local radio stations. So keep an eye out for free local events where you can go and promote. You can put up a stand and go and promote the app. Network, set up a stall, write to local newspapers, and see if they want to write an article on a new up and coming technology company, like start a new startup. So you can get a little plug in the newspaper. Same thing for local radio. Radio stations always want people to come on and want them to interview people. Look at different ways you can be creative to get into your network without having to spend money. There is ways to do it. Before we look at obviously additional investment into this, there is loads of ways we can go about this man going forward with with this operation in that sense. Okay, so that's app distribution. That's a few ideas. Like I said, you have to be creative with that, but that's some good basics I've got there for the team to be using. And then the final phase is phase 3. Okay, so phase 3, social media. Now, we all know that social media is one of the biggest spaces right now. And Facebook, for example, has got over 1 billion people on it. Okay, that's just ridiculous amount of reach, and it's a very powerful platform. We need to make sure we've got our social media pages up together. So we've got 3 social media pages. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got Twitter. I'm operating the Instagram and Twitter, and I'm also operating the Facebook with Justice. I'm doing a little bit of research on how to market with this, and there's a few different ways I've looked into. 3 ways of getting posts and video marketing to spread. I mean, one of the advantages we've got that other startups haven't got is we've got a big team of people already involved in our organization. Not just a Charlotte Local organization. We've got a network of business owners, independent business owners who've got Charlotte licensed affiliates out there. So we need to leverage off of all this and share. Okay, so the first one is likes. Everybody needs to participate in building our social media pages. So what you can do, if you go onto your Facebook, you can then go on to the Charlotte Local and you can send everybody in your friends list to like the page. It does take a bit of time, but it's worth doing. When you've got a little bit of time, schedule that out, push the page to people in your area. Okay, get them to like the page, send it out. That's free of charge. Just get a mass invite. If we all do that, we can have thousands of people liking our page straight away, and straight away that looks much better when we walk into business and say, look, we've got X amount, we've got 5,000 likes on our social media page. It just adds weight to our reach, to what we're doing, and it will start to, obviously then more people see it, more people start to share the posts in the area, and it starts to virally grow. Sharing, so sharing's really important as well. The second one, sharing. So just sharing onto your walls, great, that's fine. But what we need to look to do, okay, is join groups that relate to the businesses you're signing. So all the categories of the businesses I've put together, look at groups, what would be beneficial for a post for that business deal to be in, or coupon groups, groups with like mobile app groups, things like that. Join these groups, and you can actually share posts to groups with thousands of people in. So if you start to do that, start to share the post from the official Charlotte Local page into those groups, that will also add a viral effect and add reach to a lot more people. We'll get a lot more people kind of seeing what we're doing and following kind of the whole movement of what we're doing. The next thing I want to talk about is check-in. This is just an idea I've come up with, which I think will add a little bit of awareness, is when you schedule yourself in for Charlotte Local, just go onto Facebook and tag yourself in. Just check in to Charlotte Local UK. It would just say your name, and it would say has checked in to Charlotte Local UK. You don't have to write anything else, okay? But just schedule yourself. When you schedule yourself in, you're working on Charlotte Local. Just check yourself in on Facebook. People will see it and they'll click it, and it will take them through to the page. Also people think, well, what's he checking in for? What's all that about? It adds curiosity, and people want to know what's going on. Especially if you don't use check-ins that often, but they are quite powerful. That's a powerful thing to add awareness and check in. Into on Facebook, it works really well. So yeah, the fourth thing is going to be a social media broadcast, which we're going to do. Once we finalize the final version of the video that Michael's talking about, then I've decided that we need to do a broadcast on the mobile application itself. Okay, the mobile app video has just been launched, and also on the from a business point of view, as a business owner, okay, side of things, so they can see it when you're going in, because we're going to look to try and target in each area 500 businesses with the solid flyers that we've got within this next month, in each area, month to 6 weeks, within the next kind of time frame, we're going to run this. So when you share the flyer with them, explain a little bit about what we're doing, they would then go onto their Facebook maybe later on that evening. They would also then see a video from a video pop up saying, Sherlock Local UK, and they would see the advert kind of thing. So that's the kind of effect I'm looking to do it. And this would be something we'd be looking to crowdfund and kind of raise the money. What crowdfunding is basically it's practical funding. It's like a project or a venture raising by like a small group of people on the internet. So what we would do, we would all agree on an amount we'd be happy to put into this crowdfund. We would come up with a pot. Obviously, we've got that uk.local link, so we're all connected to that. As we pick up customers, we're all fairly picking up customers. So £5 to £10 each put into the pot. We're looking at around sort of, it could be anything from 150 to £300 to run a marketing campaign. I've looked at the demographics of reach. We can reach a lot of people, and we can specifically target the areas that we have executives on the floor in going forward. So obviously, not everybody's going to want to